So what's going on, guys? You're listening to Boxing Bag, and now that the dust has settled from the weekend after Tyson Fury's fantastic performance against Deontay Wilder, stopping him in 7 rounds to become the new WBC heavyweight champion, everybody's talking about what's next for Tyson Fury, and what's on everyone's mind is the undisputed heavyweight title fight against WBA, WBO, IBF and IBO champion Anthony Joshua. That is just a mega fight. That is a mega fight for Britain. 2 British guys, both 2-time heavyweight champions. They hold all the marbles in the heavyweight division. Like, that is a 9-figure fight. And both guys will come into that fight extremely confident. And the big talking point is where the fight's going to be held as well. In my opinion, the fight won't be held in the UK. I don't think the fight will be held in the UK. I think there's more money to be made in other countries such as Saudi Arabia. That's where I think the fight will happen, and it would be great if it happened in Britain, because the British fans have been loyal to Anthony Joshua over the years, for the past 4 or 5 years, filling out stadiums, 80,000-90,000 people against Klitschko, against Povetkin, against Parker, Takam, etc. And it would be great for them to get that fight on home soil. And the same with the Tyson Fury fans, even though he hasn't got the same amount of love as Anthony Joshua has from the casual fans, he still has his loyal fans, Tyson Fury, guys who have stuck with him from day one, even after he fell into a 3-year depression outside of the ring and it looked like he was never coming back to boxing. They stayed with him through all of his comeback, and yeah, Tyson Fury has gone to a different stratosphere now in terms of crossover in the United States, because he's shocked a lot of people in America. A lot of American people are looking at Tyson Fury now like, who the fuck is this guy? Because he just battered Deontay Wilder and just made it look easy in a fight on paper. People were saying it was a 50-50, that it was a pick'em fight, and he just went in there and blew the guy out of the water. So the fight with Anthony Joshua, that is a 9-figure fight. And I think Saudi Arabia is going to be the front runner to take that fight, because they've got the revenue. Like, for the Andy Ruiz Anthony Joshua fight, I think one of the princes paid £100 million deposit, and it was cleared into the Matchroom account or wherever it was sent to in about 2 days. Like, these guys have got serious money, and they've got it now, and they can just put that money up straight away and say, yeah, we want this fight, and this is how much we're going to give you. They'll pay way over the odds for the fight, and both guys will be very, very rich men. People are talking about splits for the fight. They're saying that Tyson Fury should be 60-40 in his favour, that he should get the majority of the share, and apparently the money being talked about, what I saw on a news article online, was $400 million. That's what Saudi Arabia apparently could put up for the fight. So 60% of 400 million is what, $240 million. Like, that is so much money. 240 million pounds, I mean. And in my opinion, I think it should just be a straight 50-50 split. I think that straight 50-50 down the middle. Both guys are champions, both guys are 2-time champions, and 50-50 down the middle. Let's see who the better man is. You know what I mean? None of this fucking about for an extra 10% or 5% or whatever it is. You know what I mean? 50-50, straight down the middle. Both guys will be ridiculously rich after any way, win, lose or draw. So let's just get this fight on. But obviously the thing that could possibly stop the Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury fight is Deontay Wilder triggering his rematch clause for a 3rd fight with Tyson Fury, which was in the contract before they signed for the 2nd fight, that if Deontay Wilder was to lose, he would get a 3rd fight with Tyson Fury. And you know what I mean? I don't think Deontay Wilder should take that fight just yet. Like, I think he needs to go back, regroup, and think about what the next step is. Apparently he's going to get rid of his assistant head trainer Mark Breland, who's been with him for years and years, because he was the one who threw in the towel in the fight, and apparently he wasn't happy about that, and JD's, his head trainer, wasn't happy about that. So apparently he's gonna be let go by Deontay Wilder and the team, which I think is unfair, because he saved Deontay Wilder from getting a huge beating in that fight, or carrying on to get a beating, you know what I mean? He was already taking a beating, but to get a worse one. And I think if that fight was allowed to go another round or two, then I think Deontay Wilder would have got poleaxed in front of his friends and family, and that's something that they don't want to see, because he was seriously hurt. His legs were totally gone, And he's coming out with all these weird excuses that his gear that he wore to the ring, like his costume he wore, that fucking weird knockoff Mortal Kombat kind of looking costume he wore, he was saying that was too heavy, it weighed something like 40 pounds, and with the batteries, like what kind of batteries did that have for it to be weighing 40 pounds? Like them batteries must have been for a Fiat car or something, because just loads of stupid excuses. Apparently he's saying that Mark Breland was influenced by Anthony Dirrell, former WBC super middleweight champion, who was there in the crowd, and apparently he was shouting to Mark Breland, stop the fight, and he was associated with the Kronk Gym in the past. And it was just loads of bullshit excuses from Deontay Wilder right now. Even his trainer JD's is saying stuff about this costume was too heavy and that fucked his legs up. Well, don't come to the ring wearing stupid stuff if you think it's going to hinder you. Like, as soon as you put that costume on and felt the weight, if it did really weigh what he's saying it is, you just take it off. You just say, I'm not going to wear this. But obviously, this guy went into that fight and he thought that Tyson Fury wasn't going to do what he was going to do. And when Tyson Fury did it, he had no plan B. But anyway, as I was saying, him triggering the contract for a third fight could be the stumbling block for Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. And if that happens, then it's going to happen. But I don't see anything good from Deontay Wilder coming for a third fight with Tyson Fury, because I think it's just going to end up easier than last time. Unless Deontay Wilder manages to catch Tyson Fury with a big right hand, which he looked like he was never going to do in the last fight. Like, Tyson Fury has just got he's got Deontay Wilder's number. Like, he's just got his number, in my opinion. The first fight, Tyson Fury was, 50-60%? He was in there just joking about, just nicking rounds here and there. And, yeah, he got dropped twice, but he still won the fight in many people's eyes. I had him winning the fight. Nearly everyone ringside had him winning the fight. The whole of Britain nearly had him winning the fight. Americans had him winning the fight. And this was him at 50-60%. So now that he's sharp and he's applying this new kind of Kronk Gym style where he's on the front foot and he's battering guys coming forward and stuff like that, Deontay Wilder's just going to have no chance, because the weight as well, 40 pounds extra that Tyson Fury weighs. I just think he's just got Deontay Wilder's number, psychologically and physically. So if Deontay Wilder goes into that fight straight away after taking the worst beating in his pro career, I think it's not going to end well. So I think he should just go back, regroup, think about what he's going to do next. Maybe have a couple of fights against guys like, I don't know, Adam Kownacki, who is a fellow American fighter. He's from New York. Deontay Wilder likes to fight in the Barclays Center in New York. Have a fight there or something like that before triggering a rematch clause with Tyson Fury, because going straight into that fight, that can't be a good thing. But anyway, as I was saying earlier, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury in the UK doesn't look probable for me. I think it's going to happen in Saudi Arabia. I think that's where all the money is, in Jeddah or Riyadh or wherever it is. It's all the same. I think that's where it's going to happen. I think they're going to pull up the most revenue. They're going to build a stadium or whatever. Like, these guys have these kind of resources. Like, we're not going to build a new stadium in Britain for Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. If it happens over here, it's going to happen at Wembley. But is Wembley going to be ready for a big summer showdown? Or we don't know what's going to happen. I think the fight in Saudi Arabia is the most plausible. And it's the same time as it would be in the United Kingdom. Like, the Andy Ruiz fight, that was on at 9 o'clock. So it's perfect for British fans in terms of watching it on the TV. They don't have to wait till 4 or 5 in the morning to have it in America. Because I don't think that fight should ever go near America. Because the thing with American audiences, unless an American fighter is fighting a British fighter, then they're not really going to care, you know what I mean? They're not going to care about two Brits fighting in America, in my opinion. Like, Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson was a big fight because Mike Tyson was American. And Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis was a big fight because Evander Holyfield was American. Like, they're not going to see Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury as a huge fight because there's not an American they can back in the fight. So I think if the fight happens, it's going to happen in Saudi Arabia. I might be shocked it might happen in Britain. And I'll be over the moon if it happened in Britain, because the fans deserve to have it in Britain. The fans who want to go to it and see one of the biggest fights in boxing history, in British boxing history. But I just see him chasing the money. And I think they should go for where the most money is, because both guys deserve 9 figures after the performances they put on, the way Tyson Fury managed to come back after 3 years and regain the heavyweight title, the way Anthony Joshua managed to come back after losing to Andy Ruiz and then facing Ruiz 6 months later and then beating him and taking the belts back. Like, both guys deserve a major payday. Both guys are very rich anyway, Anthony Joshua more so than Tyson Fury, but both guys deserve a 9-figure payday and to be a part of boxing history. So yeah, comment below in the comment section. What do you think? Where do you think the fight should be held? And do you think it's a mistake for Deontay Wilder to trigger the rematch clause for a third fight with Tyson Fury? Comment below. Subscribe to my channel, Boxing Bag.